So, can we actually solve aging? I'm not talking about just slowing it down. I mean literally turning back the clock on our own bodies. I know, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But some of the biggest minds on the planet think it's not just possible, but that it's a problem we can actually crack. So, in this explainer, we're going to dig into this pretty wild idea. Let's get to it.
And this whole conversation really blew up with this bombshell from Elon Musk. Someone asked him if we could reverse aging, and he didn't hesitate. He didn't say maybe or someday. He called it a very solvable problem. I mean, that is a huge claim. So of course we have to ask, what on earth does he mean by that?
All right, first up, let's unpack Musk's theory. I mean, how does someone take one of the most complex biological puzzles known to science and boil it down to something that's, in his words, incredibly obvious?
Okay, so the core of his whole idea is this thing he calls a synchronizing clock. Now, most scientists, they look at aging as this super complex, messy process, a slow buildup of damage across trillions of different cells. But Musk's logic, it's way simpler. He's like, look, you've got 35 trillion cells, and they all seem to age together, right? There's got to be some kind of master program, some command center telling them all what to do at the same time.
And I mean, think about it. It's a really simple but powerful point he makes. You've never seen a person with like a 70-year-old left arm and a 20-year-old right arm. It just doesn't happen. We age as a whole unit, all at once. And that simple fact, that simple observation suggests it's not just random chaos, it's coordinated. And hey, if it's coordinated, maybe, just maybe, we can find the thing doing the coordinating. Find that master switch.
But here's the twist, right? Even the guy who says we can solve aging isn't totally sold on the idea. He actually has some pretty serious reservations about what it would mean for us. He's warned that a world without death could lead to what he calls ossification. Basically, a society that just gets stuck. It becomes stale and rigid because new ideas can't get a foothold. The old guard just never leave.
And this brings us to a really, really crucial distinction we need to make. We have to separate the idea of extending life, which, let's be clear, we are already doing, from the idea of truly reversing the aging process. That second one, that's still very much in the realm of theory.
I mean, the progress we've made is just incredible. Think about this. Back in 1900, the average person was lucky to live to 48. Today, it's over 73. That is a massive leap. And it happened because we figured out things like antibiotics, and we started getting a handle on big killers like cancer and heart disease. When it comes to life extension, we've gotten really, really good at it. So this really lays out the two different paths, right? On one side, you've got life extension. This is what's happening right now. It's all about making the most of the bodies we have. Better food, exercise, amazing medicine, all the stuff that helps us age slower and healthier. But then you have age reversal. And this is the whole Benjamin Button concept. This is some kind of hypothetical tech fix that wouldn't just slow the clock down, it would actually turn it back. It would make you biologically younger, a totally different ballgame.
And our success with this life extension stuff it's just staggering. I mean, we are living in an age with more 100-year-olds than at any point in human history. And get this, in the near future, we're talking about more than 420,000 people hitting that 100-year mark. That's not some sci-fi projection, that's just demographics. It's a reality. And it sets the stage perfectly for the ultimate question.
So this is where the conversation completely shifts, right? We're moving away from the technical can we do it debate and into something way more personal, more ethical. It's not if we could, but should we? Should we use this tech to live for hundreds of years?
Okay, let's make this super personal for a second. Imagine there's a technology. It's 100% safe, it's proven. It can keep you healthy, feeling great, biologically young for 200 years. All the annoying aches, the bad knees, the sore back, gone. Would you do it? Would you choose to live to 200?
I mean, the argument for saying heck yes is pretty compelling, right? Even if it feels a little selfish. Just imagine it. No more chronic back pain, no more creaky knees. A life where, if you could afford it, you could just get new organs. You could stay in your physical prime for decades, maybe even centuries. Why wouldn't you live to 1,000 if you felt amazing? But then, you get hit with the devastating counter-argument. The human cost of it all. I mean, what's the point of living that long if it means you have to watch every single person you love, your friends, your family, your kids, grow old and die, and then you do it all over again with new people? That's not just a longer life. For a lot of people, that sounds like an eternity of heartbreak.
Maybe there's a real beauty in things having an ending. There's this story about a grandmother who lived to be 100.
Her entire family flew in from all over to celebrate with her. They had a party, they had cake, they took all these pictures, and then, just 2 days later, she passed away in her sleep. And her family, they didn't see it as a tragedy. They called it a beautiful life. A complete story with a beautiful, peaceful ending.
And that brings us to our final section here. Let's get a little philosophical and ask, what do we actually stand to lose if we get rid of death? What is the purpose of an ending anyway?
You know, for literally thousands of years, all sorts of wisdom traditions have been telling us the same thing. Life is a cycle. There's a season for everything. A time to be happy, a time to be sad, a time for beginnings, and a time for endings. And from that perspective, death isn't some bug in the system. It's not a flaw in the design. It's actually a feature.
And we can even break this down into some real tangible benefits. Because the hard parts of life, the painful parts, they actually do something for us. Setbacks, like, say, a business that fails, they teach you humility, right? The incredible pain of losing someone you love, it forces a deep gratitude for the people who are still here. And the weight of mourning can actually shape you into the leader your family needs you to be in that moment.
So what it all comes down to is this. Hardship gives us perspective. You know that feeling of embarrassment when you're driving a beat-up old car after you dreamed of being a millionaire? Or the heavy responsibility of having to be the strong one for your family when everyone's grieving? These aren't just bad experiences we should try to avoid. These are the moments that build us. They're the very things that shape our character and give life its meaning.
So we're going to leave you with this final thought. This whole quest to solve aging is, well, it's an incredible testament to human ambition and smarts. But if we actually do it, if we manage to take death off the table, we really have to ask ourselves a serious question. What else are we losing in the process? What essential, beautiful, and maybe even necessary parts of being human are we erasing along with it?